for this matchup. So he's not even going to look to kill middle. He's just looking to impact the lane for when Lee Sin roams. Jackie is completely fine just going middle and farming it out. I think that's a weird way to do it, but it might also be effective. I've not seen it tried personally.
Do you think they feel any pressure from a certain lane right away? Like, we may need you for this, or it's just something they're going to just correlate into their strats?
I think right now their overall strategy should be like, okay, same. So middle is a melee champion. If he ever goes in and uses W to go in, you can take advantage of that.
Yep.
So he has options middle and options top to gank. Bottom should not be an option for, or should not be on Saint's mind, because bottom is like, only if they're only really overextended should Saint ever show up bottom. Saint should really be concentrating on snowballing Voyboy and getting, and maybe putting pressure middle so Lee can't go absolutely crazy. Like past the creep wave for aggressiveness. Bottom lane, for ReN Nation, it's just as long as Hai can start the jungle, okay, he has a lot of options for ganks. He can literally gank every lane. But if Mundo counter juggles him, he'll be in a difficult position. So maybe that might be the option for Saint. If he gets if he starts the counter jungle in on Maokai, typically it's very, very hard to come in from behind. And this is a strategy that Voy also used on many teams. He split XP on the raid camp. I think he's looking to split XP on the red buff as well.
Yeah, he did get a bit of mana there. Looks like he's going to stay in for this one. That's really going to give him an advantage in that top lane. As they help him, yeah, Yuzuki walks away without getting any for himself.
Never mind. Voy walks out so Saint can get full XP, but Voy does start with an XP lead with splitting Wraith Camp XP, which is still like any small thing can help him out a lot. But this also means that Saint will be a little bit behind the jungle. He's already fairly low because he started Boots 3, so maybe Saint already looking to back out of 3 camps. That's a very, very interesting. We have.
I hit him. Maybe you just said Voy play conservative, use the level to your advantage.
Right,
wait
we
till I
have
can
Top
get
and
back.
Elements middle lane with Ori soloing bot. Ooh, that's a very interesting strategy. That's actually a strategy our ReN Nation has tried in the past to solo Ori on the bottom lane. However, it's almost impossible to zone out.
Wow.
I don't say it's impossible. It's weird to try to zone out Nian Tanso. It probably will work pretty effectively because it's very hard to play melee champions against Nunu in lane, because Nunu will just slow you and allow the other player to auto-attack you freely.
Just stand in front of the minions every time you want a Sonic Wave, and we can see that Yuzuki top just a few seconds ago actually had that little advantage because Voyboy got to lane, but Yuzuki crushed down minions knowing he got to lane a little late. So Yuzuki really trying to take the advantage in that early game, so Saint may have to go top a little bit quicker. Ori having to sustain there with her shield. That blue buff, though, is going to be very helpful in the early part of the game.
So Orianna was gifted blue buff and with help from their middle lane. Okay, that's a strategy that's been used quite a bit in terms of a lot of competitive teams have gone to give their side lane.
Oh, Yuzuki in a bad spot here. They're just waiting for him to come out of the bush. Voyboy taking a bit too much damage, though, and they are going to get him to try to leap away. They could get the kill here. They're going to get first blood, and Hai will turn and make his way back to the turret. Very good kill there, and just really good patience. Like I said, I think Saint's going to come back up top, and there's the kill.
I think Curse did a really good job with their game plan in this game. They obviously prepared the Orianna 1v2. Although ReN Nation had a very powerful level 1, they didn't engage it, which caused them to not be able to prepare for this double buff at level 1 taken, as well as the better lanes middle and bottom.
Oh wow, Nijaki very low. Could he get the dissonance down? He just misses and he gets it back. He has the blue buff. He may have the cooldown, and he does! Able to get his shield back and put the ball out one more time.
Like I said before, Wild Turtle is pretty crazy. Like very
all in.
Plays.
Hey,
And
what's up? I'm
really,
level 3 behind the turret.
Yeah, that really wasn't a play that he should have given up. Now Jackie's level 4 with a kill. Like and now they're 1v2 bottom, or they're 2 people bottom will have a hard time dealing with Jackie.
You know, I wanna go and revisit what happened up top with Voyboy in the beginning when I said he got crushed down. I want to say that was even intentional to draw Jax continuously at him. A gank coming on mid, the forced cleanse, and it looks like Elements may go down here, forced to flash, so they get a good amount of pressure into that. Wow, a huge damage coming in. Elements returning, and he will go down. Elements puts himself in danger. Cop forced under the turret now. That really looked like it was going in favor of Curse.
Right, Maokai actually hit a creep block on his way back. The creeps blocked him due to the bad pathing, but Nian was able to get a kill on onto Elements, which allows him to actually do extremely well in that lane. Like, he's not that far behind in terms of CS, but now that he has that kill, he shouldn't fall behind at all if he can pick up like an early Ninja Tabi or early Mercs. Or just early Doran's Blades to help him sustain.
So Lee Sin with 25 to Cog's 33, but he is still winning that solo lane matchup. Orianna having a hard time down bottom. That kill in her favor though. Now Jackie picks up about 20 CS with that. It's 2-1 in the game at about 6 minutes. See where the pressure returns from the jungle. Saint hasn't really gone bottom at all. The ward is there, so I think Nijaki has told him that. So they kind of just lose out on this one unless he can go for a good tri-bush gank. How does Nijaki just waiting, is biding his time? He's saying, I'm all right at the turret, and Saint doesn't have to come down?
Right, Jackie knows he's going to lose the lane. Like, no one expects to win 1v2, so they're looking to win the 1v2 just by having like a better 1v2 than ReN Nation. However, they actually haven't been doing a great job at taking the tower or denying Nian Tanto a farm. So it seems like the 1v2 may not be working too much in their favor, and I would say it's actually really bad, except for the fact that Jackie got a free kill on Wild Turtle, so that kind of makes the game very even, very even. Only 400 gold difference right now, 300.
And as I mentioned before, Saint just being conscious of what could be happening with the ward situation. Could be going for the lane here. Could just come up on his team. Could be a little poor timing as Reddit Nation is going to go back. And Saint doesn't see him in lane, so he's going to go ahead and just throw out a ward across the edge, back to his jungle. You see Hai trying to put some pressure on in the lanes. Yuzuki and Voyboy. Voyboy definitely trading these matches. Oh, wow, he didn't even get any damage there. A little bit of free for Yuzuki. And he's going to continuously push him under the turret. Voyboy forced to use these potions. He goes for that, trying to get his Heart of Gold out quick as Yuzuki builds the Ninja Tabi to take away some of that damage.
Mundo's actually been doing really well this game. He's gotten an early Heart of Gold and an Oracles at 7 minutes, so he's able to sweep all the wards around the map, as well as, and that lets him put pressure on every, like, as long as he just runs through the river every couple minutes, he's able to put pressure on those lanes just by having the players think he might be there, so, which is very annoying to play against in case you ever go against a jungler that's so tanky you can't kill him, as well as the fact that he's got like this ever-clearing, ever-seeing eye that allows you to just deny any kind of map pressure you can put.
Right. Saint re-picking up his red. The ulti is on. Looks like it'll take a little bit past that, so he should have enough health to get these golems and go for a gank, possibly top. He's still pushed up. We can see Voyboy just trying to freeze the lane there, so Saint will be able to get in. But here we go. It could be countered. Hai is just on the backside of Yuzuki here as they set up for the gank. Mid's being pushed in quite well. So Saint could focus his time towards that top if it happens. Wild Turtle taking a few shots. Voyboy activating onto Yuzuki. Pulls out Hai here. Saint has gone back. Actually, Voyboy left to himself, and they may pick up this kill. Hai going for the auto attack. Finalizes that one. Voyboy goes down.
And that's like, that wasn't necessarily too bad of a play by Voyboy, but that's something good top laners just need to know. Like, that's 6th sense whether or not the jungler's going to be there.
You see a change in the play of your opponent.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Void could have flashed before the Jack stun went off, and that was like his one small opening. That one small mistake where he waited till after the stun, and the Maokai root animation already was going through, cost him his life there.
Oh wow, Hai taking so much damage. They want this blue buff. Throws down the Nunu ultimate. He tries to get him. He may find himself a kill, but no, he goes down. Well timed by Elements, and well played by Cobb.
I'm really surprised that Hai went just straight through the middle and got caught. That's something
I was about
really
to say,
expected.
this is great. Hai's in mid, picking up some XP. He might be countered. Oh, he died.
Yeah, he got really greedy. I think his flash was up, but he just was like, okay, well, I don't really want to flash this. He was just barely any pressure.
Nian Tanto going hard here, but Saint Vicious catches him out. Nian really getting antsy on this play. May not be able to get out. Damage going down up top as well. Voyboy getting hit out, but they are going to just trade back and forth in both lanes. Saint really being in the right spot at the right time here.
Yeah, Saint's doing a really good job. He has 50 CS, so he's got one of the highest CS in the game, outside of like maybe the 1v2 lane middle.
Phase duel here. It can get the stun out. Counter-Strike is up, but he didn't. Yes, he does get the proc on. And he's going to be able to take out Voyboy quite handily. Now a 1-2 Voyboy versus that 1-1-1 Jax. His phage is up, so Voyboy can no longer run from any of these fights, and he has to be pretty careful.
Right. At this point, Voy is on the edge of losing the lane. Like, I feel like he really has to look for jungle help at this point to get him back into the lane, or else he's just going to keep dying to Jax. Because Jax is probably one of the best scaling champions in the game. And as soon as he gets more than one item, he starts to become a real terror in the lane.
Yuzuki knows he has the upper hand on just that first burst damage, so he even goes for the ability to do more damage instead of the mana to continuously fight, because he knows he's going to be able to take.
One of the bad things right here is that Jackie, look at his items. He's got one Doran's Ring. He's decided not to back in a long time. This opens up an opportunity for ReN Nation to be able to take Dragon, because look, even without Yuzuki coming bottom, Jackie wouldn't be able to fight with no mana with only one item. Even with teleport, he has 1,800 gold. He should have gone back already to go and buy. With teleport, I feel like the option was available, and so they pretty much just have to give him a free Dragon for a mid turret, when they could have just gotten the mid turret for free and still look to pressure Dragon. I feel like afterwards, I don't think Jackie needs it back there. Like, this tower was if not gone, at least gone fairly soon.
Well, they catch Lemon Nation out. Saint coming in, just missing the cleaver on the Valkyrie. The ult goes down, it bounces Saint, kind of taking that buff away from the speed. It looks like they're going to pick up Lemon Nation here real quick. Wild Turtle needs to be careful. Valkyrie is not up and he's low on mana. I think Saint knows the way the Wild Turtle's playing. They're going to be very close to him. The damage is going on to Saint. Nijaki is running out of this one. It looks like High L9 will not pick up anything. Wild Turtle, I was going to say, I bet that if they had the minion wave, he would die for this. Top lane's going down quite hard. Absolute Zero as Kog'Maw gets dropped. Yuzuki with too many on him, and they're just able to take him down. Forcing onto that second tier turret. Curse is making some big moves on these lanes.
Yeah, Neon Tonsil looked to rotate bottom to try to kill Orianna, but he really should just stay middle and pushed. That would have been the much better option. He went for a much riskier play when he had the advantage, just staying middle and denying mid CS and getting tower damage, as well as getting control of the opposing Wraith camp. The alternative would have been to go top and help out Yuzuki at the tower, but that would also be a little bit of a risk because they don't have any wards in their top area. So the best play there was definitely to stay mid and keep pushing. And that's something that a lot of people make the mistake of, including me. You always want to help your teammates in the middle of the game, but really a lot of times you kind of have to leave them to their own devices and just play and just put pressure. You put the most pressure by pushing.
How do you feel about these builds coming in? Actually, a quick Ionic Spark coming from Voyboy here as he finishes that, looking to really just push his lane. Voyboy, even on Diana, was kind of left to his own divides top to farm his way.
I think Voy is just taking notes from Wicked right now. He literally just lost to Ionic Spark. Aurelia, I don't know how many times he's even built that item on Aurelia, but he just saw it work last game, and he's like, I could probably make it work this game.
Right on. He also chooses to go for the Ninja Tabi build as well. St. Vicious just trying to get HP for himself right now. That Giant's Belt is really going to help him do.
So while Saint was really far ahead when he went that gank play bottom, like Ori did an excellent job setting up for the Zyra kill, but they unfortunately overdove, phage proc, and the biggest thing was Saint lost his oracles. Like that, he was already ahead, but losing that 400 gold caused them to be about even with Maokai, which means they lost a lot of their advantage. And even though the gold leads is the same right now, it's 5-5 and the gold is the same, Mundo is still only like even or at best.
Yuzuki, a lot of pressure top. He will certainly not make it out of this one. Getting a little bit of help from High 9 with a Polaroid being taken as he went down. 14 minutes into this one. A little bit of a gold lead there, grabbed with the assist and kill. But 2-1 in turrets means that map control is going to start playing a role here soon as they start to continuously pressure these lanes as a group. Having that teleport onto Nijaki is going to be able to help once he's just got top and bottom farming away right now. And nobody really wants to go that far bottom and put themselves out of position.
Oh wow, Wild Turtle and Neon Tonsil have 14-minute thirsters, so they're actually doing pretty well for themselves. They decided to skip any Doran's items, so they're like, okay, well, we'll just go for the big item first. Very, a little bit more of a risky play, but definitely something I approve of right at this instance because they haven't had any trouble laning without Doran's.
Right. Yeah, that Bloodthirster to a pickaxe on Kog'Maw, 0, 1, and 2 with 103 CS. He's got 1,500, so he's really looking to get... does he have the sustain? No, he's just probably going to buy a BF sword and 100 gold. So you'll get a little bit of damage from Kog'Maw on that one. The Blood Boil is going to save him from really having to get that Zeal right away. so he's not too far behind, but those Bloodthirsters are getting stacked right now. So this next fight is going to have to be all about positioning for Curse. They've had the lead up until here. We've seen this U power curve from them, where they start off really good and lull into the mid game. They were able to pick it up previously in the match in this tournament. We'll have to see if they can do it again. It looks like Reddit Nation maybe trying to find a little ground here. He clears top. Looks like he's going to stop this turret from being pressured too much. Seeing Yuzuki is still there. And it looks like all of them are mobilizing.
Aurelia rotated bottom. I don't know if it's just looking at split push or that's ideal.
Oh, wow. Saint getting crushed down here. And Curse might, or Cop might find himself out of position. Yuzuki is going to go straight on for this one. The turret doing quite a bit of damage. He has one more shot left. He will certainly go down. They trade that 2 for 2. And Elements comes up to check out what happened.
I honestly don't know if that was worth it. It was about an even trade. I think both teams lost an Oracles, both teams lost the jungler, as well as an important carry. I think it might have been more worth it for Reddit Nation just because they ended up losing about 2 waves to the turret, but Elements was still able to get there and pick up a lot of the CS and XP.
Really, I like what Reddit Nation is doing here. Every lane they have is played pretty much super aggressive, causing Saint to have to be everywhere. It worked in the first few minutes. He was able to get that gank top, and it worked out really nice. But from now on, he's been doing well in the jungle, keeping his CS up. He got the early Heart of Gold. He's pretty tanky now. Looks like he's going for the Warmogs. But he hasn't been able to be everywhere for his team, and it's not his fault. But Reddit Nation is just really using their aggressive comp to their advantage.
So Voice is hiding bottom there. I wonder if he knows that he's right next to Corki, and he gets out. Oh, wow, Turtle. If he gets the phase proc with the red buff slow, this could mean disaster for Void.
It looks like what happens to me when I shoot Phage. It never goes off. High now, getting countered on, and it looks like he will be able to get a small bit of crowd control. He is doing some great kiting here. Here comes Nunu coming in. High will most likely go down. I think there's too much damage close to Wild Turtle now. He'll be able to kite this, but that Burning Agony just too much. Forces the flash. The Cleaver comes in. The ball movement to take him out from Nijaki. But here comes Yuzuki. He's in a 3v1 with Zyro right on the backside. They do have him out of crowd control to win this. The Entanso still pretty tanky. It looks like they drop 1 and 2. The third will fall as Elements goes down. They are going to be able to find that as Cop pushes top.
Really good collapse by all the teams there. Although Reddit Nation, I feel like had the advantage at the start. Curse came in and collapsed very well, and then Reddit Nation counter collapsed. Was able to get 3 for 4, as well as Dragon. They lose top tower for it, so it's still not that big of a loss for Curse. But still, Reddit Nation showing they have what it takes to win team fights. A very big deal. Oh, if they can get this middle tower, or a lot of middle tower damage here, it'll definitely be worth it in the end. Even though they came out a little bit ahead, getting this tower would be huge just for opening up the map for them. But Aurelia shows up, and they're going to probably back out.
So that's exactly what they needed. I like the pressure. They knew Cop was off in the distance, and they just completely forced that fight. Very nice job by them. They were a little bit out, but Cop's kiting, or not Cop's kiting, rather, Wild Turtle's kiting throughout that fight was just fantastic. Coming into this, they weren't able to put any pressure on that mid as they wanted. We're going to see Dragon just going down, so that'll come up quite soon. Nijaki picking up that blue. And Saint trying to soak up minions. He really needs to be with his team on this game. Right now he's doing a good job. Found himself in a few sticky situations with a great early start. Now 1 and 3, but here comes Yuzuki looking to 1v1 Saint. He gets the Cleaver on, whereas the Phage Procket just wore off there as he throws on the ulti, and it looks like it will hit again. Can he get it once more? No. Just the speed from Mundo getting him out, but you can see how fearless Yuzuki is right now, and that is not good for Curse. Your duelist, when that happens with Jax against Aurelia, and you have the 2 duelists and one is somewhat that far ahead, you can pretty much take Boy right now. It's a scary situation.
Mundo doing a very interesting build here. He decided to go straight Warmogs after his Hog, rather than go for a more team-oriented build of going Angus.
Wow, very aggressive movement by High here, and he takes a little bit too much damage. His team was very far off from him. And he gets a little antsy there with the miscommunication. Elements looking to Blood Boil and get back into this fight. Looks like he goes for the flash. He gets kicked right back. I will definitely take a kick for a flash, and they're going to make it out of this one safely unless the Blood Boil can catch a beautiful root. It looks like they will be forced to back off. Curse really wanting these fights.
Right, Curse sending everyone top, but unfortunately, Yuzuki's just bottom, so pushing. And they really need to send someone to look to stop him. I think Yuzuki really needed a Vamp Scepter there. There's really no reason not to get a Vamp Scepter at this point, and he just picked one up because he needs it to sustain himself in any of these 1v1 duels, 1v2 duels, as well as just in the lane. If he's ever in a skirmish, he wants to be able to heal back up, and he should be able to heal his whole health bar with 1 or 2 waves.
And this would be a really good time for Reddit Nation to start forcing fights as well. With Jax being fed, St. Vicious is trying to feed his Warmogs right now, so he's not with his team. Nijaki does have teleport, so he can be in the fight, but you're still producing a 5v4 situation that's going to be in favor of Reddit Nation. And right now, their fighters are so much stronger.
This is really confusing to me. So Cop 1v2 middle and has lower CS than Jackie, or 2v1 middle and has lower CS than Jackie 1v2 bottom. And typically, like, I rarely ever see that happen. I'm kind of confused where the fall off was. Like, Cop was the highest CS in the game. And I really don't know what happened there. And Boy doing a very smart time. It was just a really bad position, bad position by Elimination. He could have attacked it from an angle toward the top. Yeah, at least force. Really didn't even have flash there. Really wouldn't have been able to go over. So kind of bad, risky positioning. Going by yourself at half life to clear a ward, and he also wasted exhaust for it. So that's really not good for Reddit Nation. Still an extremely close game. 500 gold difference right now.
You look at that gold. He does have the most in the game with 6,900 on Nijaki as he was bottom. And he is actually, no, it's going to be Wild Turtle. Quite strong in this matchup. Has about 7,100 gold to himself. Those early Bloodthirsters allowing them to just push through these fights. He is 2-2-1 himself. 3-0-1 for Nian Tanso in middle. So these guys, their gold is definitely spread out amongst the kills.
Yuzuki going hard on Saint bottom. I'm curious to see if he'll get the kill here.
He is very low. The leap strike goes in. Doesn't have the counter, and it looks like he may. Saint even turns around to throw another cleaver.
Yuzuki should be luckier. If he had Lady Luck with him, he would have killed. No, I'm serious. Phage is such an annoying item. If you're lucky, you just outskill other players with it.
If you're cop lucky.
Oh yeah, if you're cop lucky.
Cop Phage proc all day.
That's apparently what I've heard.
Zuki jumping out of the fight. 12-11 here. 22 minutes in. 3-1 is the turrets. So there's really no map control for Reddit Nation on the side of Curse. Yeah, they control their own. Curse is really able to move about the jungle anywhere they want. Reddit Nation, however, winning the fights. Just after these fights, last time they took Dragon, they really didn't have time to push any of the turrets. And we'll see if they can start taking down those objectives. You've seen teams in the past, and you've seen it before, that a team, you can win every fight you want, but if you're not pushing objectives after it, you're going to start to fall behind.
And this is where Reddit Nation has to be really careful. So they have 3 physical damage dealers. Jax is kind of hybrid, and Corky's a little bit hybrid, but for the most part, it's 3 auto attackers. And you literally just saw Curse pick up 3 chain vests. The minute someone gets Frozen Heart, like Randuin's, the effectiveness of Reddit Nation's team is really just impaired, especially with playing against a Nunu. It's very, very, very hard to do anything with 2 divers against a Nunu, especially auto attack divers. So they have to be, if they want to be winning team fights, they have to go in with a huge numbers advantage or just catch people at odd angles.
I'm really wondering where the teleport comes into play now, because both of the split push lanes are Aurelia and Mundo at this point with Warmogs and just Aurelia split pushing as Aurelia does. But the teleport is kind of a useless summoner spell on Nijaki.
Oh, the teleport, yeah, the teleport is only for lane. That's all they used it for, is to control the lane. They didn't really care how effectively it's skilled in the late game. Like,
right.
You can still kind of do stuff with it, but they don't really care.
Super duper backdoor if it even comes there. Oh, kicked into the wall. A Blade Surge out. Voyboy quite tanky. Looks to really pull a good kite here, but he will go down in the situation. The Ignite is on. Nijaki looks to finish a turn back here, and Nijaki pulling in Yuzuki. This is going to be a big fight. Wild Turtle or Curse Cop picking up some kills. He's forced off of High. You do see Jax fall in this one. It's just a focus for Wild Turtle. High has somebody on his back, though. They're just splitting the damage for both teams. Wild Turtle putting himself in the middle of the fight. Why would you Valkyrie like that? Puts himself into absolute zero. High being chased out by elements. He looks to pick up his own kill. Nian Tanso somehow still alive from the engagement before. Oh my gosh, Elements finally getting him to go down. And Nian Tanso will make it out alive by the sliver.
Wow, that was... I feel like they could have came out better on that team fight. They had Wild Turtle go back in. the biggest thing was that Wild Turtle did not realize that Nini still had exhaust. Had he not had exhaust, he would have been able to kill.
Right.
Almost 100%, even with the attack speed debuff from Nini's ulti. And so they're doing a replay coming up, and just we can re-see this fight just to look exactly where they had issues. So the Zyra ulti catches 3 people, but she gets bursted down really quickly. Corki gets exhausted once now, and once later. Had they just split up here, had High gone right, they would have been fine.
Yeah.
Had High and Turtle gone left, they would have been fine. But one went one way, one went the other way, and Corki literally could have just killed Elements from before running in, before Valkying in. But unfortunately, he didn't think exhaust was up, and they made a crucial error there, which caused Curse to win the first definitive team fight of the game.
Yeah, that came out really big for them. I was unsure why High turned around. Kog'Maw was going to get more shots on him if he was closer, and if he would have even got position out and maybe into the lane, they could have set up some kind of defense and pushed them back just into that choke point with the burst that Corki has. But in that fight, really great job by Curse. Cop was able to stay over by Wolves the whole time and really output the damage he needed to. Finally getting that build to come together, and really just about 800 gold off the Phantom Dancer. We'll see how much he has right now, and only about 200 gold off of that.
What a strange build that Saint's building. He went Warmog to the Thornmail. I don't think I've ever seen that build before. I feel like Randuin's would have been like a better item.
He's Mundo infected. He does as he pleases.
Oh no, it's still a decent item.
Right, oh, for sure.
Not something
for
that
sure.
I've seen recently. Nian Tanto actually picked up his last Whisper, so the amount of armor that people have doesn't really matter to him.
Maybe it's just with the build that Voyboy is going. They said, you know, we still need that beef tank. And he really took that into consideration with completely tank items. Looking for a little bit of magic resistance, maybe, but it's really all AD. You're only going to get a hybrid power from Jax, and he's really mitigating all of that.
I would have really liked to see a Random in that instance regardless, because Warden's Mail just completely shuts down all the attackers if you can get the attack speed, movement speed proc.
Yep. They are pressuring. You can actually hear him downstairs communicating.
Wow, yeah, High is so loud. What the heck?
He is so loud. Oh, I knew it was High right off the bat. Like, yep, yelling. Trying to clear sweep wards here.
Yeah, for Red Nation to win, they need a good angle. I don't know how they're going to get a good angle at this point.
Saint not even really being hurt by the Gatling shred. As they start to move in, they force the escape. And they're just kind of pressuring here, really lane bullying Reddit Nation around until they get a good grab. There's one!
Wow.
The second advance. They are going to jump on Nijackie and completely decimate the area of effect for the composition. There goes Voyboy the Bruiser. That is down, and they are going to go ahead and easily push this turret. Nijackie, you know, just a little bit out of position, and that's what came of it.
That positioning, I'm sure Saint is like super pissed off right now. I'm sure Jackie's really mad too. That's something that he can't afford to make. Even had he just at least flashed the Maokai shift, it would have been much better for his team.
Dude,
he
yeah.
didn't do that.
Could have might have engaged a few on Maokai, obviously not
Right.
the fullest, but this Baron is going to hurt uncontested. They are going to have to dance this. They're going to have to show a little bit of pressure. Cop from the other side throwing out the ooze. Saint is coming in. He is quite tanky, and he's going to try to just beat this out for his team. Elements on the outside. Cop is nowhere to be found, though. They're just getting killed. Cop needs to be there for the damage. They went in a little too early with Cop on the outside, and they were taken out again, giving up 2 more free kills just to move out of this one.
I don't think they needed to turn off Baron. I really thought they could have killed Saint and then went back on Baron. But actually, no, Jackie TP's back.
Jackie just on the bottom side. Cop doesn't have much mana. He is
Oh,
rooted.
wow.
He does go
Cop
for the
is
cleanse.
back.
It's going to help him a bit, but the leap strike in power crushes him down, and they are just going in one by one. They're really trying to pull out the stops here and say, let's make this play happen, but each time it's faltering, and now they have to be careful because they need to reset, and they may get the counter Baron.
All right, no. They have
No,
20 people
30
dead.
seconds on Cop. Never
Okay.
mind.
Void just runs to the Baron, just make sure they're not doing it, which they're not. While Red Nation could have been able to, I think, could have been able to make a Baron play. I kind
Keep
of agree.
forcing the one kills.
I kind of agree. It was better to not risk it because I forgot that Jackie had teleport, but that teleport would have made a huge difference had they looked to force.
I think it was a
Baron
good choice
immediately
not to
afterwards.
force because they're kind of gaining a lead now,
Right,
which they didn't.
Typically, when you want to win the game, slowly pushing your advantages is the best way to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
really, like I agree with that's too much of a force. They see Ori bottom, they can just rush this. I can still hear High from here. My God.
There's still a ward in there, or yep, Zyra does see it on that right side. Another ward goes down. Not taking too much of their focus. And it looks like they're setting up for the engagement here. They dance
yeah,
from the bottom side.
Two slow plants up. Wow.
Beautiful Zyra
Really
ulti,
good
knocking
Zyra
up the Nunu,
ulti.
keeping him away from the majority of the team. But Voyboy doing his job perfectly, tries to get Wild Turtle, but he heals himself back up. The sustain just too good. They know they've lost Voyboy, and they have to dance this one out. Trying to figure out what the best position is. Sending in St. Vicious with the shield on. Voyboy jumps, or rather Yuzuki rather, jumping right past, trying to get the damage down. Nijaki with the Zhonya's. Didn't have that before. Saint going down, but gets taken out from the Zyra passive. And it looks like they try. Oh, and the Entanto could definitely not go in, but it would be enticing. High looks to run away from this one. The shot missing. They don't have vision on him from this run. They know where he's gone, but it looks like he's going to be able to break. Oh, right into a ward. The chase from Kog'Maw is not going to be on. He does have the Phantom Dancer. You would have probably caught him eventually.
The mobility boot's really stopping any chance of that.
Oh yeah, Maokai does have really good call.
Kog'Maw and Nini just did so much damage there. They went out of a trade positive. Like they got the immediately pick off on Void with a low Corki. I think they could have just cut their losses there and ran out. Even with the GA resing, they could have just backed out. But they looked to force a fight, and then no one could connect to Kog'Maw. With two melee bruisers, no one could get there, and Kog'Maw just tore through everyone.
Super fight team coming out from Reddit Nation, and it's what they really need. You have a Lee Sin, you have a Jax, and you have Wild Turtle going all out. The Starks, or the Zeeks rather, coming out for Zyra. That's going to be very helpful for the team, and everybody's pretty stacked up here with damage. The Last Whisper, two of those, one on Lee Sin and on Corki. So they're really able to just shred right through Saint. All he has is HP on that number, or on that bar. Let's see, coming in. Nijaki, why are you so
really
low?
What? I don't know how he got that low.
Saint going in again. It's going to be popped up here. Zyra ulti hitting Voyboy. Wild Turtle on the outside. Saint not going for Wild Turtle. They do get the steal on those. Saint doing a very good job getting the smite in. Voyboy taking a bit of damage, and it looks like they may be able to turn this one around. Wild Turtle was only able to put the damage down, but not take anybody out. Lemon Nation could be caught here. The Cleaver missing, and they start to back out of this fight. Beautiful job, Curse. Definitely taking the lead with that Baron steal.
Wow, they should have just immediately turned off Baron. There's no reason to risk it. You forced yourself into like a 50-50 situation, and especially without tanking Saint once, he wasn't going to die without full focus. So either you have Jax and Lee Sin jump over the Baron wall to deal with the two in the backline, which I feel like was the ideal play, or you have everyone disengaging going on Saint, because Hog and Jackie would not have been able to close from the back, from the very far back. And so they just decided to go with the worst of the three options and try to force down Baron, and they missed it. And that may have just cost him.
Very big plays, exactly what Curse needed, and the U power curve we were talking about before starts to stream back upward. Looks like Voyboy is going to roam around and still get himself some experience, get himself a little bit of gold. He is at 1700 right now, so he may be looking to complete something. That Guardian Angel to come up quite soon, about that 30-minute mark. You've heard Wicked say, get that Guardian Angel by 30 minutes. It's really not as effective if you can't, but it's still going to help out in late game. The Dragon going to Reddit Nation, so they pull themselves back a little bit towards that gold deficit. It's about 3,000 gold right now. They have lost 4 turrets on the map, and Curse really using that to their advantage as they come in with a little bit of map control, pushing Reddit Nation into their own jungle after that Baron and just really closing out the fight in their favor. 23-20. This game is still extremely close, even though these Barons are happening, but positioning-wise, like you're saying, Reddit Nation is having a very hard time finding that entry.
Void just picked up a GA, and Mundo just picked up a random. So like the 80 Bruisers gonna have a really hard time in this game with no real AP to fall back on. As well as Elements picked up a Frozen Heart. Everyone has armor on the other team. It's very hard for me to see a position where anyone can connect with Kog'Maw with how big Saint is.
Yeah, he did finish up that random, as you said. They're going straight for this turret. They have positioned and comped very well for these team fights. Their items perfectly, I guess, itemized, if you will. And they're just really leaving Saint in the front every time. When you throw Orianna into a composition, it's protect the, and it's protect the whoever you want. Right now it's St. Vicious. It was a beautiful job going in and stealing Baron just a few minutes ago. We're going to see Baron up in another 4.5, so that means Curse has quite a bit left with it. About a minute 30.
I don't exactly know what Curse is trying to do. They should
they're kind of wasting
bottom.
for the most part.
3 towers up. Like, there's no reason to do anything to push bottom.
Double wards all the way.
They have bottom lane entirely warded, and they have 2 inhibs down. So
yeah, it really is the best time to push bottom. You have no objectives to worry about. Yeah, nobody's going to go in backdoor anything you have. They are all down to second tier turrets. They have 2 inhibitors, 2 inhibitor turrets, and it's really just not looking good for these guys. You can see them pushing out mid as much as they can so they can focus on bottom once they just concede these 2 turrets. Not something you want to have to do, but sometimes it's included in the strategy of winning.
Alright, Cop just gonna go. Nunu's Blood Bowl at level 5 applies almost like, I think, a little bit under 3,000 gold worth of items in terms of attack speed and move speed. So, kind of insane, especially with the hyper carry like Kog'Maw. And that's typically why, even though Cop didn't do too well this game, he's still able to stay in this game with a lower amount of items in Corki.
That's one thing I've always liked about Kog'Maw. Still builds semi-cheaply and gets so much power out of him. St. Vicious taking a little bit too much damage for his own good. The ball definitely helping there. Nothing is all can't fix, that is. 8, 3, and 6 Cop to really face off against Wild Turtle Hero. 6, 4, and 5 in this next fight. It's going to be on Yuzuki. He goes right in. Cop in the back, just able to fire out. Nintenso trying to find him. They push Wild Turtle out. The fight is just in the middle between the Bruisers. Voyboy and Yuzuki going face to face. The Guardian Angel come back up. They lose elements on support. Zyra is still up for the crowd control support side for Reddit Nation, but they don't have any HP to fight this one out. The Dissonance slows down. Blade Surge everywhere from Voyboy. Yuzuki able to get him though. The Guardian Angel still up for him as he comes back with his team. They pulled this back under the turret perfectly. They used it to their advantage. They brought them back into their base, and Reddit Nation finds the ace.
I'm very impressed they were able to pull that off. I honestly thought it was going to go horribly. But
that is a party at the Nexus. Right now, they need to stop this. Good thing Yuzuki is up, because high L9 would not be able to do anything about this.
Right, and right now, I don't know if that was an over... I think Curse forced an okay fight. It just... Reddit Nation outplayed them in terms of that team fight. Nian being able to connect to the backline and stall them out for a bit really helped them out. So much. Element should have stayed with their backline. I really feel like that was the ideal key thing that went wrong in that game. If Nunu stays with Kog'Maw and Orianna and he just ultis to cut people from coming in and keeps giving Kog'Maw blood blows, Kog'Maw really won't have any issue being able to just slowly wail on people that try to run through the Nunu ulti.
Everybody back up on the map, and it was for as much as Reddit Nation pushed that mid lane out while their 2 bottom turrets were getting taken down. Their base got absolutely flooded as they recover from this 37 minutes into the game. It actually helps them get back into with that fight towards the gold deficit. So losing 2 towers, that fight brings them right back to the 3,000. 26 to 25. The kills just neck and neck, but looks like Curse is just, like you said, slowly creeping towards that victory, trying to make less mistakes.
They're going to just look to get this next Baron. If they can get this next Baron, they can slow roll their way down bottom for the win. I don't know if Reddit Nation is looking to contest. They probably should, though, because this is going to be their best chance with the GA down on Aurelia. However, Kog'Maw just bought a GA, and Nian, Tonsos, and Jackson's GA are both down. But there's a GA on Corki now, so it's just a battle of the GAs right now. They see everyone. If that hits,
the shockwave goes in. Wild Turtle forced out, but he's still out. Voyboy from the backside does not decide to go in. I do not know why. They're all pushing towards him. St. Vicious is right there. They're holding this one off. They kind of just want to push him into their base, take Baron and go. They could easily win this fight right now with the damage they have. Yuzuki trying to counter-strike everybody and stop them in. A beautiful ultimate from Elements keeps them there to bide some more time. Lemon Nation to fall as well. Curse looks like they will be able to push straight through. There is the surrender going down, and one after the